It's Friday, folks. That can only mean one thing. It's time for the Friday Five. And boy, do we have a great edition for you this week. We've got lots of folks talking about all kinds of great things that are happening in Yarmouth that you might want to learn a little bit more about. I'm going to start things off with Steve Johnson, wastewater professional extraordinaire, to talk a little bit about the ongoing constraints at the Royal River Pump Station. I'm going to follow that up with some changes to our food waste collection system at the transfer station with Eric Street. We're then going to talk with Mike Karen down at Yarmouth Community Services to talk about the fall and winter program guide. And I know everybody's been waiting for that. And of course, we'll talk with Julie Dubofsky about some fun new innovations that you're going to see around Yarmouth streets to help with traffic calming. And we'll wrap things up as we do every week with an overview of upcoming public meetings. So with that, get your popcorn ready, sit back, relax, and enjoy this week's Friday Five. Number one, with wastewater on the top of most folks' minds here in Yarmouth, I've got Steve Johnson, our town engineer, to talk a little bit more about timing and process. So we had sort of alluded to some ongoing conversations at the town council level 2 weeks ago during our Friday Five edition. Since then, the council have continued to talk about it. And so I've got Steve here, who's, one of the questions that we've heard from folks is sort of why now? And tell us a little bit more about the sort of the capital planning work that goes behind some of these decisions and what kind of brought us to this point timeline-wise.
Thank you, Scott. As always, it's great to be here, to appreciate an opportunity to chat about it. So, folks may know that we have a capital plan that we do every year. We're starting that work now. So we've been really looking at our pump stations for about 10 years now. And so we've had, as with anything that was constructed in the 60s and then updated in the 90s, we know that this infrastructure is going to wear out. You wouldn't expect to buy a car and expect it to last for the rest of your life. So we do expect that these would be wearing out, and we have been planning for that through our CIP. So while that CIP is just a part of the budget process, the council has deemed that it wasn't quite right, but there were some things that, again, we know we planned for the harbor, and that has gone out and is currently in design. However, while we plan for things and we expect they wear out, what we may not have been aware of how we might have reached capacity. So our pump station, which was designed for flow rate back in the 60s, we've had a lot of development since that time, things that we want. We want folks to build new homes, we want to have new ADUs, we want to have folks have new commercial development here in town. What makes Yarmouth great? And so when you have those kinds of things in that expansion, you have the additional sewage that comes along with it. And so it's kind of outpaced what the original design was for. And so that's where we are with the Royal River Pump Station, the fact that we have hit our capacity. We have the maximum that pump station can pump out during these wet weather times, and so we have to achieve additional capacity if we want to continue development and allow more flow to be coming in. So that's really part of the timing of this is, while we knew the pump station would need to be replaced sometime within a 10-year time frame, we have just realized, due to some unfortunate overflow events, that now really we have to replace it because of timing. So because of capacity.
All right, so a bond question is going to be in front of the voters in November. Yes. As part of that, does that cost include sort of capacity, extending the capacity so that, 30, 40 years from now, we're going to be able to anticipate that new growth?
Excellent question. So when we do one of the first steps, we do what's called an analysis of that design report. We take all of our engineering factors, we talk with our planning department, we talk with some consultants that have been working with us as part of the comprehensive plan, and take all that data into look into the crystal ball, if you will, the engineering crystal ball, and get a sense of what we think the time frame for that service life of that pump station is, and what it will need to pump through that design window, which is about 50 years. So, we look at as best we can in the future, what we think may happen, and that's how we size our pumps hydraulically to handle that flow. So we are taking that into account.
Yeah. So again, another question that we've gotten quite a bit, and Steve alluded to it, when it comes to our capital planning and our budgeting, is, why aren't we better prepared financially for this type of investment? And I think this is a sort of a bit of a complicated question to answer because, this is over a lifetime of different types of councils, right, with different priorities, and we're trying to balance out sort of the overall general fund expenses with long-term investment needs. And so at this point, we get to a point where these capital improvement needs sort of are here, right? And it's whether you pay for them over 30 years or you pay for them all at once, those are decisions that get made by the council, and we're here to sort of approach this with the conditions that we've got in place.
That's right. So, again, we try to, we have lots of needs in the wastewater department, with the fire department, all the town departments, school, we all have needs. And so how do you balance that need of each department with what you have for your budget process coming in? So it's a bit of an effort, and that's why the capital improvement plan is so important, to help provide a roadmap for all department needs, right, and what our hopes and dreams are for our improvements, so that can be worked into the budget process in the spring, so that we can make those conscious decisions on what we're able to fund, what we want to fund, and what sometimes we can't fund. And so hopefully now we'll be able to work through with something that is very important to our comprehensive plan and to folks that live in town that want to expand their homes, want to add new development. That really is important now to make this investment at this time to ensure that can continue.
Yeah. So as we move forward into the fall, there's going to be a lot more opportunity for public involvement and a lot more information to share. So as always, if you're not signed up for our e-newsletter, it goes out every month. It's a great opportunity to learn more about things that are going on in town. Certainly, the town council meets 3 weeks every month and is anxious to hear from folks in the community. Make sure to go to the town's website. It has sort of an ever-evolving page there that will be able to share information, data that's helped supported this decision, videos from previous town council presentations, and other information as it becomes available. So, Steve, thanks as always.
Well, it's always a pleasure to be here as part of Friday 5. This is a great high point of my week, seeing the great work that you and Leo do. So thank you for this opportunity to chat about it.
It won't be the last time you see him. So
I'm sure it won't be.
With that, we're going to be on to item number 2. Number 2, I'm here with Eric Street, Public Works Director Extraordinaire. And if you've been to the transfer station the last few weeks, you've seen a bright orange new addition to the collection that we've got over there. We've got a new food waste disposal program, don't we?
We do. We have a new food waste, the same program that we've had. We just switched our containers around, so we now have a roll-off container. I believe there's 3 doors on each side, so it allows for traffic to come up on both sides. Easier disposal. We don't have to mess with the lids, move the totes around, and so forth. So same program, same material can go in, no changes with that, but just a lot easier for folks to dump their material in and access.
That's really cool. One of the innovative pieces to our food waste disposal program is where it goes after it's collected. Can you tell us a little bit more about AgriCycle and the cool stuff that they're doing there?
I sure can. Yeah, AgriCycle is part of Exeter Energy. You started out as a dairy farm, and they needed a place to put all their animal waste and so forth, so they started digesting that, and then they started adding food waste to that, and it's grown now where I think they have 2, if not 3 digesters, and they also do pretty much a statewide collection, Maine, New Hampshire. I'm not sure how far south they go, but they collect food waste to go there. So we don't compost it. We do have a composting operation on site for leaf and yard waste, but the food waste actually goes to Exeter Energy, which is part of it, owned by AgriCycle, and they runs through a digester. When they digest the material, it creates a methane gas. The methane gas actually runs generators that run the farm, provides all the power for their big dairy farm. They create a bedding for the animals, and then the effluent, the water piece that's dewatered off of that, actually gets sprayed back onto the field as a fertilizer. So it's a complete loop. So yeah. And the good part about their program is you can put packaging in that. So they have a depackager up there, so that's better for folks if they have something that's spoiled, they don't want to touch it, don't want to unwrap it, they can throw the whole thing in there. The only thing you can't put in there is glass. But everything else they can put in. It's great if we don't because they have to pull it out, so we encourage folks not to, but at the same time they can.
Great. And there's signage down on the bin, but as always, if you have questions when you're at the transfer station, find somebody with a highlighter yellow vest, and they'll be able to help you out. And we've got such a great team down there, and it's just sort of a another new tweak on some of the innovations that we've got going on there to really try to reduce the amount of waste going back into the waste stream.
Yeah, we'd outgrown our first program, which is another reason we had switched to the container too. So it allows us to serve more people.
It's a good problem to have.
It is a good problem to have.
Awesome.
So.
Well, thanks for that, Eric. And you know what? I'm not. You know, I was gonna wrap it up, but I'm not gonna do that because, you know, it's not often that I can get Eric to agree to be on one of these things. And in just a few weeks, he's not gonna be with us anymore. So after 30 years of being here with the town of Yarmouth in various capacities within our public works department, Eric, thank you. Make sure you leave some comments here. Just, you know, he's been such a great force and friendly face in the town office for over 30 years. You're going to be sorely missed and big shoes to fill for the next public works director.
Thank you very much, Scott. I really appreciate it. It's been a wonderful place to work. I've great people, great relationships. It's kind of a bittersweet to make this step, but it's the right step at the time. And but I really appreciate that, and I appreciate the staff and everybody. So it's been great. Good community.
Before I start shedding tears, let's go on to item number 3. Number 3, I'm here with a new face, Mike Karen, Assistant Director of YCS, who we're getting back. It's almost back to school time. As much as we don't want the summer to go away, we're getting there, which means it's time for the fall and winter program guide. It's one of 2 different guides that YCS provides, and all kinds of opportunity for new things, right?
Yeah. You may have gotten an email yesterday. We sent it out. So check your email for the digital copy of the guide. Online registration starts Monday the 25th at 8:30. Phone and walk-in starts August 27th at 8:30, and non-resident starts September 2nd at 8:30.
So lots of dates there. We'll make sure that they're on the screen somewhere. So that's great. So what are sort of the typical fall and winter programs that people can participate in? Is there anything new this year?
Some of the more popular programs are after-school programs with this fall guide. We've got it arranged by day of the week in the activity guide, if that makes it easier for you as you're trying to pick your child's schedule. We've got some adult trips and programs planned. We've got fall, winter, and spring sports all open for registration, so there's a lot there.
As always, YCS has something for everybody, and so be sure to take a look, and if you haven't checked it out, they can find it on the YCS website.
Yeah.
Awesome. So thanks for that, Mike. And again, if you have any questions, reach out to the folks here at YCS and get active. There's all kinds of fun stuff to do.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for hanging in with us, Mike, and we'll go on to item number 4. Oh, hey, what are you doing there? Don't mind me, I'm just cautiously driving down Yarmouth streets to learn a little bit more about some fun new traffic calming measures that we've got going on in town. I'm sending it to our friendly neighborhood bicycle enthusiast, Julie Dabowski. Take it away, Julie.
Thanks, Scott. I'm here today on North Road with our AmeriCorps fellow, Sydney, who is getting her degree in helping me with traffic calming data collection. We're going to call it dodging traffic, but she gets to be an observer. So as part of the Village Gateways traffic calming demonstration project, we are doing data collection. You may have seen your neighbors out in red t-shirts, AARP t-shirts, who are graciously giving us the grant to allow us to do this project, and bright yellow safety vests. And then hopefully you've seen me attempting to cross. The 5 corridors that are part of our Village Gateways project are West Elm, West Main, Sligo, East Elm, and North Road. And we've done speed data collection over the past 2 years, and now we're doing failure to yield, which is everybody should know that when a pedestrian is in a unmarked marked crosswalk that doesn't have a stop control or a traffic signal, by state law you still have to yield to that person. So if you see somebody crossing, you may or may not be part of a demonstration project, so yield to them. So we're going to be doing data collection during the process. So when the installation elements are up, so that'll be flexible delineators, that'll be additional signage, refreshed markings to tell you where to stop if you're at all unsure. So that's happening now, before, it'll happen when they're up, and then after in the winter time. That's the winter maintenance period when all those vertical elements come out of the street so that the snowplows can come through, because we're all ready for snow in November, right? Sydney, anything you've learned from being out here this morning on North Road, which I should say is a state aid road, is a commuter road and has much higher vehicle volumes and much higher speeds than, I would say, West Elm or East Elm or even Sligo?
Yeah, definitely, Julie. I would say speeds were a little bit higher than I was expecting, and so were failures to yield. So let's just be aware of our crosswalks and our pedestrians in town. Yeah.
And also, one of the things, everybody's a pedestrian at some point, is try to think back to when you're a kid and you're trying to figure out when a safe time to cross is. If you're trying to find the gaps, when you're a driver, you might be going really close to another car, or you might be traveling too fast to see and react when maybe a kid or an adult is at the crosswalk. So as you're driving, think about maybe travel back in time to how you encountered the landscapes and traveled around independently at various points in your life too. So thank you all so much, and see you out in the road, Yarmouth.
Bye.
I'm back at the desk. That can only mean one thing. We're wrapping up this week's Friday 5 with a quick Town Council primer. Now, next week is the fourth Thursday of the month, which means we've got the week off, but we are getting things ready for the September slate of meetings, so be sure to check out the town's website to check out those meeting material updates. A couple other quick reminders. The Town Council has been hosting various community conversations, coffee with councilors throughout the last few weeks, and have had great turnout for those. Thank you for participating if you've done that. It's a good opportunity, no agenda, just to kind of share thoughts, ask questions, and maybe bring up some concerns that that you think that the Town Council might want to work on in the upcoming months. And so we've had great turnout for that. It's been so good, in fact, that they're going to continue to do that. So as more dates are released for those coffee with council, be sure to make sure you mark your calendar and make an opportunity to be there. And finally, be on the lookout for a series of public forums related to next year's school and municipal budgets. It's a lot earlier than we usually get started, but before departments start submitting budget requests and the town council and the school committee sink their teeth into next year's budget, we want to hear from you. So be on the lookout for that as well. And with that, thanks so much for tuning in. We had a lot of fun along the way and had friends, lots of guest correspondents to sort of share some things that are going on in town. So with that, have a great weekend, and we'll see you next Friday.